Baba Vanga warned us. 3 countries will rise in power, 3 will face collapse in 2025. When the winds of change blow, some build walls, others build windmills. Chinese proverb. History doesn't whisper, it warns. And sometimes those warnings come from the most unexpected voices. Baba Vanga, the blind mystic whose predictions have startled the world for decades, spoke of a year that would tilt the global scale. 2025. She foresaw a dramatic shift, 3 nations rising to unexpected power and 3 others falling into chaos. Could her prophecy be unfolding right now, beneath the surface of daily headlines? What forces are shaping this quiet revolution? And more importantly, which countries are on the verge of soaring and which are inching toward collapse? Welcome to the journey of wisdom, where we don't just explore events, we seek the deeper meaning behind them. In today's episode, we dive into Baba Vanga's vision of 2025, unraveling the hidden patterns of change, power, and destiny. If you're drawn to insights that blend ancient foresight with modern reality, hit that like button, share this journey with someone curious like you, and subscribe to the Journey of Wisdom. And if you've been walking this path with us for a while, thank you. Consider joining as a member to support our mission and unlock exclusive content. Now, let's walk into the prophecy together. Number 1. About Baba Vanga. To begin understanding what Baba Vanga foresaw for our world, we first need to explore who she was and why so many still hold her predictions in such high regard. Often called the Nostradamus of the Balkans, Baba Vanga was a blind Bulgarian mystic whose prophecies gained worldwide attention for their unsettling accuracy. Her name continues to stir curiosity because, over the decades, she made predictions that appeared to mirror real historical events. From the fall of the Soviet Union to the tragic 9/11 attacks. These weren't vague musings or scattered thoughts, but rather statements that in hindsight seemed to align with the unfolding of global milestones. Her followers point to her accuracy as a sign of something divine, believing she may have had a spiritual connection to the unseen. Others take a more grounded view, suggesting that she was simply an extraordinarily perceptive woman who deeply understood the flow of history, human nature, and the interconnectedness of global affairs. What cannot be denied is the profound impact her visions have had, not just in her native Bulgaria but across the world, as people continue to seek meaning in her words, especially in uncertain times. In today's fast-paced, unpredictable world, the reason so many turn back to her prophecies isn't just curiosity, it's the longing for a sense of direction. Many of us, especially in our 30s to 60s, are navigating a complex mix of responsibilities, raising families, adapting to rapidly changing technology, questioning economic stability, and watching global politics shift in unpredictable ways. In that context, hearing about someone who seemed to know what would come next touches something deep within. It's not about blind belief, but rather a search for patterns in the chaos, signs of what might help us prepare for or even prevent hardship. Whether or not one believes in the supernatural, Baba Vanga's life and legacy invite us to pause and reflect on how we interpret the world, how we respond to challenges, and whether we are truly paying attention to the signs around us. Her story gently reminds us that foresight doesn't always require magic. Sometimes it requires quiet awareness and a deep connection to humanity. So as we explore her warnings about rising and collapsing nations, let us also consider our own choices, the direction of our lives, and how we might contribute to a future that prioritizes compassion, wisdom, and shared well-being. Number 2. 3 countries will rise in power. Let's step into the unfolding mystery of 2025 and explore what may lie ahead for our world. Baba Vanga's prophecies were rarely straightforward, often wrapped in metaphor and symbolism, inviting reflection rather than offering fixed answers. Yet within her cryptic visions, there was a powerful message. A significant transformation in the balance of global power is on the horizon. This wasn't just about politics or economics. It was about the deeper shifts that influence the future of humanity. While she didn't directly name specific nations, many of her predictions seem to echo today's unfolding events, and over time a pattern has begun to emerge. Based on current global trends, many have drawn connections between her words and the rapid rise of 3 nations poised to gain influence and reshape the world stage. 1. Turkey. As we explore the enigmatic predictions of Baba Vanga, one country continues to surface as a central figure in the unfolding global narrative: Turkey. More than just a nation with a rich cultural history, Turkey's significance lies in its powerful intersection between geography, diplomacy, and ambition. Strategically located at the meeting point of Europe, Asia, and the Middle East, Turkey holds a unique position that few countries in the world can claim. The Bosphorus Strait, which it controls, remains a critical artery for global trade, with nearly 10% of worldwide commerce passing through its narrow waters. This control over such a vital trade route gives Turkey not just economic leverage, but also geopolitical influence that is quietly but steadily growing stronger with each passing year. Yet Baba Vanga's foresight didn't stop at maps and shipping lanes. It hinted at a more profound transformation. Over the past decade, Turkey has been aggressively developing its domestic economy, increasing its self-reliance, and investing in industries that drive modern power, such as defense technology, energy independence, and digital infrastructure. These moves signal more than just national growth. They reflect a strategic intention to shape its own path rather than follow the trajectory set by larger global powers. In the realm of diplomacy, Turkey is evolving into a bridge not only between continents, but between conflicts. From hosting peace talks to positioning itself as a mediator in volatile regions, especially in the Middle East, the country is transitioning from a peripheral actor to a central player. This blend of military readiness and diplomatic outreach makes Turkey a rare hybrid on the world stage, neither fully aligned with Western powers nor entirely separated from Eastern alliances. This flexibility may well be its greatest strength in a shifting global order. For those of us living through turbulent times, marked by political uncertainty, economic shocks, and societal changes, Baba Vanga's vision serves as a subtle reminder that the rise and fall of nations often comes not through chaos, but through strategic patience and adaptive thinking. In our own lives, this can inspire a quieter but equally important reflection. Are we leveraging our own strategic location, our unique skills and networks, to navigate change and build resilience? As Turkey continues to assert its role in global affairs, rising not with fanfare but with steady determination, it resonates with a timeless truth found in both prophecy and everyday wisdom. Those who understand their position and act with purpose often rise beyond expectation. Perhaps this is what Baba Vanga foresaw: not just the ascent of a country, but the awakening of a deeper global consciousness that values balance, adaptability, and clarity in action. 2. Brazil. Let's take a closer look at one of the most intriguing parts of Baba Vanga's prophecy. A South American country, long underestimated, rising not just through economic growth, but through a deep, meaningful transformation that could influence the whole world. Many believe she was referring to Brazil, and when you really look at what's happening there, it's not hard to see why. Brazil has weathered its share of storms. Decades of political corruption, economic instability, and environmental degradation have tested the resilience of its people and the strength of its systems. But now something is shifting. Slowly, steadily, Brazil is finding its footing in a new world where sustainability, environmental leadership, and renewable energy are no longer optional. They're essential. And here's where the story gets truly inspiring. Brazil isn't just talking about change, it's building it. This country, home to the Amazon rainforest, one of Earth's most vital ecosystems, is taking serious steps to protect what it has while using its natural abundance, sunlight, rivers, wind, to power the future. It's already a global leader in hydroelectric energy, and with rising investments in solar and wind, Brazil is setting a path for others to follow. When Baba Vanga spoke of a nation that would rise to global importance through environmental stewardship, many believe she saw a future where Brazil stands at the forefront not just for its size or resources, but for its values. So, what does this mean for us? How do we view Brazil now, not just as a beautiful country with carnival and football, but as a potential leader in the global transition to green energy and ecological responsibility? Could this be the moment when Brazil moves from the sidelines to the center of the world stage, not through dominance, but through example? And how might that shift inspire us in our own lives? When we see a country like Brazil, long held back by its past, starting to rise because it chose a different path, a more conscious, sustainable and forward-thinking one, it makes us ask ourselves, what are we doing with the resources we have, with the opportunities in front of us? The story of Brazil isn't just about national progress. It's a reflection of something deeply human, the ability to grow through adversity, to rethink what power looks like, and to choose a future that benefits not just ourselves, but generations to come. Baba Vanga's message here isn't about blind belief in prophecy. It's an invitation to look more closely at the world around us, to see the signs of positive change, and to support the kind of progress that uplifts everyone. So, what do you think? Is Brazil the beacon of hope and leadership the world needs now? And more importantly, how can each of us contribute to a future rooted in balance, responsibility, and renewal? Let Brazil's journey remind us that, no matter how long the night has been, the dawn always comes. And when it does, what we choose to do with the light is what truly matters. 3. India. As we reflect on Baba Vanga's mysterious and often startling predictions, one vision in particular continues to stir curiosity: her prophecy of a powerful Eastern nation rising to stand shoulder to shoulder with the dominant forces of the West. Now pause for a moment and ask yourself, could this be about India? When we look at the world today, the signs are compelling. India is no longer the sleeping giant people once referred to. It is awakening, not with noise, but with quiet determination and focused action. Economists predict that by 2025, India could overtake both Germany and Japan to become the world's third largest economy. But numbers only tell part of the story. Baba Vanga didn't just speak of financial growth. She spoke of a transformation that reached into culture, science, innovation, and the collective spirit of a people. And that's where India shines not just in GDP, but in heart, heritage, and human potential. From ancient Vedic wisdom to cutting-edge artificial intelligence, India represents a rare blend of tradition and technology. Look at its achievements in space. Chandrayaan-3's successful lunar landing made headlines worldwide, and India now sets its gaze toward Mars with a confidence that reflects not arrogance, but aspiration. In the realm of artificial intelligence and digital innovation, Indian startups are making global impacts, and its talent pool is leading projects from Silicon Valley to Singapore. But this rise isn't just about tech. India is also asserting itself in climate leadership, defense strategy, and global diplomacy, building bridges where others build walls. Could this truly be the Eastern power that Baba Vanga foresaw, one that doesn't conquer through dominance, but elevates through wisdom and resilience? There's an ancient saying in the Dhammapada, as a solid rock is not shaken by the wind, so the wise are not moved by praise or blame. In many ways, India's journey mirrors this truth. For decades, the country has faced challenges that would break lesser nations' colonial wounds, internal divisions, economic hardship, but it has risen not by reacting in anger, but by building with patience. And now, in a world craving balance between technological advancement and spiritual grounding, India offers a powerful example. What makes a superpower in the 21st century? Is it merely military strength and economic might, or is it the ability to inspire, to innovate, and to unite? Personally, I believe what we're seeing is more than just a national rise. It's the rebirth of an ancient soul on a global scale. And it invites each of us to consider, in our own lives, are we cultivating the same balance between growth and grounding, between striving and stillness? Whether or not you believe in prophecies, there's something undeniably powerful happening in India today, and it challenges us to rethink what true leadership looks like in a rapidly changing world. So, what's your view? Is India the nation Baba Vanga saw rising from the East? And more importantly, how can we each rise in our own way with wisdom, intention, and compassion for the world around us? If you've watched this far, you're already uncovering the powerful truths behind Baba Vanga's 2025 predictions. Comment below with future awakening to show you're ready to embrace the rise and prepare for the fall. Stay with us until the end to discover how these global shifts could impact your life and what you can do to stay ahead of the curve. Don't miss a moment. Your awareness could be your greatest strength. Number 3. 3 will face collapse in 2025. While Baba Vanga's prophecies hint at the rise of powerful new nations, they also serve as a chilling warning for others teetering on the edge of decline. Her vision paints 2025 not just as a year of transformation, but a moment of reckoning for 3 major global powers. As fresh leaders emerge and new alliances take shape, the world must prepare for the downfall of some long-standing giants whose influence may soon waver. But which nations are at risk, and what storms are gathering on their horizon? The clues are already unfolding in the shifting tides of global events and the fragile balance of power we see today. 1. United States. As we step into the uncertainty of 2025, one name continues to echo through conversations about global change: Baba Vanga. Her predictions, often cloaked in mystery and metaphor, have captivated millions with their eerie accuracy and unsettling warnings. Among her most striking visions for this year is the suggestion that 3 powerful nations may face a period of profound collapse. And at the center of this forewarning stands the United States. Long considered a symbol of strength and innovation, the US now finds itself navigating a complex web of political, economic, and social pressures. From escalating polarization to widening economic inequality, the fabric of American society appears more fragile than ever. While the nation has weathered storms before, from civil unrest to financial crises, Baba Vanga's warning hints at a deeper, more structural unraveling that could reach a critical tipping point in the near future. Her prophecies suggest not just temporary disruption, but a foundational shake-up, possibly a leadership vacuum or a systemic failure that leaves citizens disillusioned and institutions scrambling for stability. The rising distrust in governmental systems, heightened cultural divisions, and a growing sense of disconnection between leaders and the people all point to the kind of internal discord she may have foreseen. At the same time, we can't ignore the external pressures. Geopolitical tensions, shifting global alliances, and economic competition from rising powers add another layer of complexity to America's journey forward. It's not just about politics or the economy. It's about the soul of a nation, and whether it can come together during a time when fragmentation seems easier than unity. Yet, within this moment of challenge lies an opportunity, a call to re-examine what truly holds a nation together. In modern life, where information travels fast and fear can spread even faster, it's crucial for individuals to stay grounded, think critically, and foster communities built on understanding rather than division. For the average person, this isn't just a distant political drama, it's a chance to reflect on how we participate in society, how we treat those with different views, and how we protect the values that matter most. Whether or not Baba Vanga's prophecy unfolds exactly as some interpret it, the lesson remains clear. A strong society is one that listens, learns, and acts with compassion in times of uncertainty. As we move through 2025, perhaps the greatest test the United States will face isn't collapse, but whether it can rediscover the unity that has carried it through centuries of trials. 2. United Kingdom. Let me share with you a fascinating insight from one of Baba Vanga's most talked about prophecies, one that may be unfolding before our eyes in 2025. She spoke of the potential collapse of a once powerful colonial empire. And for many, this has been interpreted as a warning directed toward the United Kingdom. Since the Brexit vote, the UK has found itself in a constant state of transition, politically divided, economically strained, and questioning its identity on the world stage. The departure from the European Union, which once promised sovereignty and control, has instead left lingering questions and deepening uncertainties. Trade agreements remain unsettled, and the British pound has swung between strength and weakness, reflecting a market unsure of what comes next. But perhaps most significantly, the unity of the kingdom itself is no longer guaranteed. Scotland has reignited its call for independence, driven by a belief that its voice and values are being drowned out in Westminster politics. Wales, often seen as the quiet partner in the Union, is also beginning to stir, and Northern Ireland, still delicately balanced by the Good Friday Agreement, faces increasing pressure as questions over borders and identity become louder. Baba Vanga's vision did not simply suggest trouble, it pointed to transformation. She warned of financial distress spreading across Western Europe, a wave that could easily sweep into the shores of the UK, compounding existing tensions. And here's where it becomes deeply personal. What does it mean for a country to face the possibility of unraveling from within? For generations, the United Kingdom stood as a symbol of resilience, influence, and continuity. But today, even that image seems fragile. Could the threads that bind its nations together finally come undone? And if so, what kind of future would emerge from the remnants? These aren't just political hypotheticals. They're questions about identity, belonging, and how nations evolve when old structures no longer serve new realities. Think about the impact that economic instability can have on the unity of a people. When resources grow scarce and leadership is questioned, how do communities respond? Do they pull together or drift apart? Baba Vanga's prophecy seems less about doom and more like a mirror, reflecting back the possibility that great change comes when foundations are shaken. Is this the UK's moment of reckoning, or its opportunity to redefine itself in a more inclusive, forward-thinking way? Could what looks like collapse actually be the first step toward renewal, even if that means letting go of old forms to make space for new expressions of national identity? So, as we walk through 2025, with the eyes of the world turned toward Britain, we must ask ourselves, what does it truly mean to hold together in times of trial? And what are the values worth preserving in the face of change? Perhaps Baba Vanga wasn't warning us of destruction, but reminding us that every great nation must eventually confront the truth of its own transformation. And as we reflect on her message, maybe the most important question is not, will the UK survive, but what version of the UK will rise from the trials it now faces? Let this serve as a reminder that uncertainty is not always a sign of failure, it can be a gateway to growth. The lesson here is to stay engaged, stay informed, and above all, stay open to the idea that even great institutions must evolve. When the ground shakes, it doesn't always mean the end. It might just mean something new is trying to emerge. So, what do you think? Are we witnessing the beginning of a breakup or the birth of a better union? Let's explore this together. 3. Russia. Let's talk about one of the most haunting and powerful parts of Baba Vanga's 2025 prophecy: Russia. If you've been following global affairs even just lightly, you'll know that Russia has long stood as a symbol of strength, resilience, and relentless ambition. But Baba Vanga, the mystic whose predictions have both fascinated and unsettled the world for decades, warned of something far deeper than what we see on the surface. She spoke of betrayal from within, of leadership conflicts so intense they could tear the very fabric of Russian power apart. And as we step into the heart of 2025, her words feel more relevant than ever. With the strain of ongoing military engagements, increasing pressure from international sanctions, and a growing restlessness among the population, Russia is standing on a knife's edge. You and I both know this isn't just about politics. It's about identity, legacy, and survival. Could the great bear of the East, known for its iron grip and indomitable spirit, be quietly cracking from within? Baba Vanga's vision hinted not at war with other nations, but at an internal struggle, one that starts behind closed doors, perhaps among those in power, and spirals into something that could bring a historic shift. Are we talking about a change in leadership, a revolution from within, or something more subtle, like the erosion of trust between the people and the state? It's hard to say for certain, but what we do know is that change, when it comes from the inside, is often the most profound. Think about it. All empires rise and fall, not always from outside attack, but when their inner values are no longer aligned. And Russia, despite its towering history and enduring pride, is not immune. The economy, already bruised by global sanctions, may reach a critical tipping point. Baba Vanga spoke of financial collapse, not just hardship, but a collapse so severe it could ripple across the globe. If that prophecy were to unfold, what would it mean for ordinary Russians, for the millions who rely on a stable economy to survive, feed their families and live in peace. This isn't just a headline, it's human lives, it's pain, it's uncertainty. And yet, within this darkness, there is always a chance for awakening. 3 things cannot be long hidden: the sun, the moon, and the truth, said the Buddha. So the question we must ask ourselves is, what is the truth trying to reveal itself through all this turmoil? Is this the fall of Russia as we know it, or the beginning of something more conscious, more honest, perhaps even more just? Every crisis contains the seed of transformation, but only if people are willing to see beyond fear and ego. From my perspective, I believe we are watching a nation caught in a karmic moment, where past actions are coming to light, and the path forward will require more than strength. It will require wisdom, compassion, and perhaps a complete shift in collective consciousness. And you, yes, you listening to this, what do you think the world would look like if a global power like Russia were to undergo such a deep transformation? Would it bring more peace or open new doors to chaos? What can we learn from their struggle about our own inner conflicts and how we handle power in our own lives? These are not just political predictions, they are spiritual questions. Baba Vanga may have seen the signs, but the real answer lies in how humanity responds. The lesson here isn't just about watching Russia. It's about waking up to the truth that power, when misused, inevitably faces correction. And perhaps in that reckoning, a new kind of leadership can be born, not from dominance, but from understanding. So ask yourself this: are we ready for the world that's coming? Or are we still clinging to the illusion that the old ways will protect us? Let's reflect deeply on that. As we've explored today, Baba Vanga's prophecies aren't just eerie predictions. They're invitations to look deeper into the patterns of change unfolding across the world. Whether nations rise or fall, the greater lesson is this: nothing is fixed, and transformation is always possible, on the world stage and within ourselves. If this journey stirred something within you, questions, curiosity, or a new perspective, please take a moment to like this video, share it with others who might find meaning in it, and subscribe to the Journey of Wisdom. And don't forget to turn on notifications so you won't miss our upcoming insights and stories. Together, let's continue seeking not just answers but understanding. Until next time, stay grounded, stay curious, and walk gently in wisdom.